You're 5 years old, crying, scared, needing someone to hold you and tell you it's going to be okay. But nobody comes. Or worse, someone comes and tells you to stop crying, to toughen up, that you're being too sensitive, too much. So you learn. You learn to push those feelings down, to hide that scared child, to pretend you don't need what you desperately need. And decades later, that child is still there, still waiting, still 5 years old, still needing what they never got. Welcome to the psychology of healing your inner child. The journey of finally giving yourself what you were denied and discovering that the wounded child living inside you has been running your adult life all along. There's a child inside you, right now, in this moment. They carry every unmet need from your childhood, every moment you felt unseen, every time you needed comfort and got criticism instead, every wound that never healed because nobody taught you how. When nurtured and acknowledged, our inner child brings forth a wellspring of creativity, inspiration, and joy. But when neglected or wounded, it leaves us feeling disconnected and unfulfilled, playing out patterns that echo old insecure attachment dynamics from long ago. Today we're exploring something that might change your life, how the child you were shapes the adult you've become, and more importantly, how you can finally heal what's been broken all this time. If this resonates, do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, and drop a comment. It helps YouTube show this to more people who need to hear it. Now let's go deeper. Let me tell you what an inner child actually is. The inner child lives in each human and is the core of who they are as people. The inner child is molded by the directions we receive in childhood that teach us how to parent ourselves. It's not some metaphor. It's not spiritual woo-woo. It's a psychological reality. Carl Jung expanded on these ideas with his theory of archetypes, introducing the divine child as a symbol of innocence and potential, and later the wounded child as part of the individuation process of integrating unconscious material into a unified self. Your inner child is every age you've ever been. The toddler who needed security, the 5-year-old who needed validation, the 10-year-old who needed encouragement, the teenager who needed understanding. All those younger versions of you still exist inside, still carrying their needs, still influencing how you show up in the world today. And here's what most people don't realize. If you experience neglect, trauma, or other emotional pain, your inner child might feel small, vulnerable, and in need of protection. You may have buried this pain deep to hide it and protect yourself. But hiding pain doesn't heal it. Instead, it often surfaces in your adult life, showing up as distress in personal relationships or difficulty meeting your own needs. You wonder why you can't trust people, why you sabotage good relationships, why you feel so much rage over small things, why you need constant validation, why you're terrified of abandonment, and you don't connect it to that child, to those wounds, to what happened when you were too young to process it. But your inner child remembers, and they've been trying to get your attention ever since. Here's what creates a wounded inner child. Painful, traumatic experiences, along with a lack of nurturing by dysfunctional parents, leave deep wounds in the inner child, and this, in turn, contaminates adult behaviors. Sometimes it's obvious: abuse, neglect, violence, trauma that nobody would question. But sometimes it's subtle. Your parents didn't have to do anything spectacularly wrong to leave an imprint on your child's self. Childhood trauma sometimes has roots in the most innocent-looking family dynamics. Maybe your parents were always stressed, always working, never emotionally available. Maybe they loved you but didn't know how to show it, or showed it in ways that felt conditional. Conditional on your grades, your behavior, your accomplishments. Maybe you had to be the good kid, the one who didn't cause problems, who took care of everyone else's feelings. Maybe you learned early that your needs were inconvenient, that your emotions were too much, that you should just be grateful and stop complaining. And these experiences, even the not that bad ones, they shape you. You might even feel stuck at the age of trauma, unable to move on emotionally without first processing your past. You're an adult chronologically, but emotionally, part of you is still that child, still operating from those old wounds, still reacting from that scared, hurt place. And until you heal that child, they run your life from the shadows. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. You're in a healthy relationship. Your partner is kind, loving, safe. But when they don't text back quickly, you panic. You create stories. They're leaving you. They don't care. You're not enough. That's not you. That's your inner child. The one who learned love is unpredictable. That people leave. That you're only worthy when you're pleasing others. Or you're at work. Your boss gives you constructive feedback. And instead of hearing it as feedback, you hear, you're a failure. You can't do anything right. You're not good enough. That's your inner child. The one who learned that mistakes equal rejection. That anything less than perfect means you're worthless. Or someone raises their voice in frustration, and suddenly you're frozen, or fleeing, or fighting back with disproportionate rage. That's your inner child. The one who learned loud voices mean danger. That anger means you're in trouble, that you need to protect yourself. Inner child work involves taking inventory of your past experiences and evaluating how they make you feel in the present day. By recognizing the pain points of your life and areas you'd like to improve, you can override the ways you'd normally respond to other people, circumstances, and events that cause your emotional triggers. This is the work. Recognizing when your inner child is activated, when past wounds are driving present reactions, and choosing differently, consciously, as the adult you are now. Here's what reparenting means. Basically, reparenting means giving yourself what you did not receive in childhood from the original parents. Reparenting involves learning to give your wounded inner child all the love, respect, and dignity they deserved when you were young. It's about reparenting yourself and giving yourself the emotional response you would have needed or wanted as a child, but doing it right now at your current stage in life. Reparenting, which Lucia Capac Chione invented in the 1970s, offers a transformative method for healing the wounds caused by insecure attachments to our childhood caregivers. You become the parent you needed but didn't have. When your inner child feels scared, you, the adult, provide safety. You say, "I've got you. You're safe now." When your inner child feels ashamed, you provide compassion. You say, "You're not bad. You made a mistake. That's okay. You're still worthy." When your inner child feels alone, you provide presence. You say, "I see you. I'm here. You're not alone anymore." This sounds simple, but it's revolutionary. Because for years, you've been abandoning your inner child the same way your parents did, telling yourself to get over it, to stop being so sensitive, to toughen up. But reparenting means doing the opposite. It means finally showing up for yourself. Let me tell you how to actually do this work. To begin healing, you first have to acknowledge your inner child's presence. You can't heal what you don't acknowledge. So the first step is simple. Recognize that this child exists. Close your eyes. Picture yourself as a child. What age appears? What do they look like? How do they feel? This is your inner child, and they've been waiting for you to notice them. First, you need to acknowledge the child within. Then, you start communicating with it. Finding a way to hear what your inner child has to tell you is key to access the source of your trauma. Finally, you step into the role of a nurturing parent. From your adult self, you give your child self exactly what it needs. Talk to them. Write them letters. Journal from their perspective. Through guided exercises and therapeutic techniques, individuals explore memories and emotions associated with their childhood experiences, identifying core beliefs and narratives formed during childhood, such as beliefs about self-worth, safety, and love. Ask them, what did you need that you didn't get? What hurt you? What scared you? What do you wish someone had said to you? And then, this is crucial, give them what they needed. If they needed to be told they were enough, tell them now. You were always enough. You are enough. If they needed to cry and be held, let them cry. Hold yourself. Rock yourself if you need to. Holding your inner child can bring them comfort. Rock if necessary. Hold tight to yourself and let the tears flow. Or just as powerful. Smile big and know that healing is happening. If they needed permission to play, to be silly, to take up space, give them that permission now. Engage in activities to bring joy to that inner child. Dance, play, draw, color, sing, listen to music. Connect with them and ask them what they want to do and need from your adult self. This isn't childish. This is healing. Here's what happens when you start this work. At first, it feels awkward, uncomfortable, maybe even ridiculous. You're an adult talking to yourself, comforting yourself, parenting yourself. But then something shifts. By acknowledging and validating the inner child's pain, individuals can release pent-up emotions, heal emotional wounds, and develop healthier coping mechanisms. Emotions you've been suppressing for decades start to surface. And this time, instead of pushing them down, you let them be felt. You cry for the child who wasn't allowed to cry. You get angry for the child who had to be good all the time. You grieve for the childhood you deserved but didn't get. And that's when healing begins. Inner child healing is a therapeutic process aimed at addressing the emotional wounds and unmet needs carried from childhood, reconnecting with the part of oneself that still holds pain from early life experiences, offering a path to emotional growth and well-being. You start noticing your patterns, your triggers, your automatic responses, and instead of being controlled by them, you have choice. Your partner doesn't text back, and instead of spiraling, you pause. You recognize, that's my wounded child talking. They think abandonment, but I'm safe. They're probably just busy. Your boss gives feedback, and instead of collapsing into shame, you breathe. You recognize, that's my wounded child believing they're not good enough. But feedback isn't rejection. I can learn from this. Someone raises their voice, and instead of freezing or fighting, you ground yourself. You recognize, that's my wounded child feeling unsafe. But I'm an adult now. I can handle this. I can set boundaries. This is the power of inner child work. Not that wounds disappear, but that you're no longer controlled by them. Let's talk about what makes this work difficult. It can be very painful to confront your inner child because it can tap into some very difficult, painful memories. It can be helpful to work with a therapist who can walk you through visiting some of these things from the past in a patient and calm way so that you're not re-traumatized by them. This is important. If your childhood trauma was severe, abuse, neglect, violence, please don't do this work alone. If you've experienced childhood trauma, abuse, or violence at a young age, it's especially important that you work with a licensed clinical therapist who can help you navigate the healing process. A trauma-informed therapist can hold space for you, can help you process without re-traumatizing, can guide you through the most painful parts. Cognitive behavioral therapy is a valuable approach for healing your inner child. A therapist can work with you to uncover where your beliefs about yourself come from, especially those rooted in childhood. By making these connections, you can learn to change negative thoughts into more compassionate and supportive ones. Studies have shown statistically and clinically significant reductions in PTSD and depressive symptoms through inner child-focused therapies, with 92% of participants no longer meeting diagnostic criteria for PTSD after treatment. This work is effective, proven, life-changing, but it requires support, guidance, safety. Don't rush it. Don't force it. Let the process unfold at its own pace. Here's what healing looks like over time. When needs for love, recognition, praise, and other types of emotional support go unmet in childhood, the trauma that results can last well into your adult life. But it's never too late to heal. By learning to nurture your inner child, you can validate these needs, learn to express emotions in healthy ways, and increase self-compassion and self-love. Slowly, you become gentler with yourself, less critical, more compassionate. You start recognizing your needs as valid instead of burdens. You start expressing emotions instead of suppressing them. You start believing you're worthy of love, not because you've earned it, but because you exist. By staying in tune with your inner child, You can lead to a more complete sense of self and boost confidence and motivation. You become more whole, more integrated, less fragmented between the adult trying to cope and the child still carrying wounds. And your relationships change, because you're no longer seeking others to fill holes they can't fill. You're no longer expecting partners to parent you. You're no longer attracting people who recreate your childhood dynamics. You're showing up as a whole person, someone who's done the work, someone who's healed the child within. And that changes everything. Let me tell you something important. The goal of healing your inner child is to make sure you fully process both positive and negative experiences from when you were younger, so you can move past them with a renewed understanding of your worth as a human being with very real thoughts and feelings. This isn't about blaming your parents. It's not about dwelling in victimhood. It's not about using your childhood as an excuse. It's about recognizing what happened, feeling what you didn't get to feel then, and giving yourself what you needed, so you can finally move forward, free from patterns that no longer serve you, free from wounds that aren't yours to keep carrying. Your parents did the best they could with what they had. And also, you deserve better. Both can be true. And healing means accepting both truths. Releasing blame. Taking responsibility for your healing even though you didn't cause your wounding. Because nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to give you the childhood you deserved. But you can give it to yourself now. That's the gift of reparenting. That's the power of inner child work. In reparenting this inner child and healing old wounds, you discover other parts of your being that need attention, acceptance, and love by the only person that can provide that healing, you. You discover that providing space and love for these parts helps redirect your responses as an adult and breaks patterns, not only within yourself, but in your relationships with others. Here's what I want you to hear. If you're carrying childhood wounds, if you recognize your inner child in this video, if you see how that child has been running your adult life, listen, you deserve better. You deserve parents who saw you, who validated you, who gave you what you needed. And you didn't get that. And that's not your fault. But you're an adult now. And that means you have power you didn't have as a child. You can give yourself what they couldn't give you. You can reparent yourself. You can heal those wounds. It won't be easy. It won't be quick. It will hurt before it heals. But it's possible. People do this work and transform their lives. They break generational patterns. They form healthy relationships. They finally feel worthy. You can too. Your inner child is waiting. They've been waiting your whole life. And now, finally, you're ready to show up for them, to hold them, to love them, to give them what they've always needed. And when you do, when you finally heal that child within, you heal yourself. Not the performance, not the persona, not the adult who's been coping and surviving, but the real you, the whole you, the you that's been buried under wounds for decades. That's what's waiting. That's what this work offers. Freedom, wholeness, finally coming home to yourself. Now I'm genuinely curious, and I really want to know, what's one thing your inner child needed that they never got? What would healing look like for them? Drop your answer in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to start their own healing journey. And if this video resonated with you, if it made you see yourself differently, subscribe to this channel. We explore psychology that matters every day. Like this video so more people can find it. And comment below to let YouTube know this message needs to reach more people. Your engagement literally helps others heal.